blood-soaked and loud. Cornbread man talking, biscuit boy proud. Static crackles like a rattlesnake's tail. Voices rolling like a freight train wheel. Cornbread man, biscuit boy, talking live love and southern joy. Cornbread man, biscuit boy, raise your glass, make some noise. Gravy drips in the southern drawl. Stories thick like the cypress tall. Radio rebels riding wild and free, shouting truths like a storm at sea. Hey, hey, can you feel that beat? Boots on the floor, fire in the heat. Cornbread man, biscuit boy, talking live love and southern joy. Cornbread man, biscuit boy, raise your glass, make some noise. Tells the dirt roads, whiskey skies that cut through the night like fireflies. Laughter echoes through the pines, two voices cross them county lines.
And good morning. Good morning. Let me kill the music. I was trying to bring up Podbean and I forgot that. I got to click the music too. Happy Saturday, Cornbread man.
And the biscuit boy in the house.
He's in the house. He's not broke down the side of the road tonight or
Nope.
this morning.
Nope.
How long did you have to sit there on the side of
And
the road?
actually, about an hour, maybe.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad. That's good.
You know, it's amazing with the technology we have today. You know, you just make a couple of phone calls, got a tow truck on the way, a rescue driver on the way, and the Jeep is where it's supposed to be.
Remember the days you had to go knock on doors and ask if you
Can
could
I
use your
use your
phone?
phone?
And they'd be like, sure. You know, back in those days,
Yeah.
they'd just say, sure. You know, I mean, very rarely would you run into anybody that wouldn't let you, you know. And
It
then
was a
they'd say,
different time back
I'm broke
then,
down
man.
about a half mile down the road. You're the first
Yeah.
house I've seen.
Yeah.
And then one time, me and my dad, I could not work on a car with my dad. That's why I didn't learn a lot of mechanics like I should. My dad would get so mad working. He wasn't really a mechanic. He would just try to save money.
Right.
And one time we were changing the I think the transmission filter or something. And anyway, one of the boats, I was helping him tighten up some of them.
It wasn't blinker fluid or anything like that, just changing.
No. It was transmission fluid.
Okay.
So this is an old Dodge Slant 6. You about can't
Right.
kill them. So I didn't get one of mine tight enough. So we're driving down to the church, which is about 30 minutes away.
Yeah.
And about 2 miles before we get to the church, it starts really acting up. So we have to pull in. And my dad goes, there was a house across the street. My dad went and called. Pardon me.
Mm.
And my uncle, his brother, came and got us. Now, I can remember this is the way it used to be in the 70s. He had like a camper shell cover
Yeah.
on his truck.
You got up.
Well, we got in there, but they had lawn chairs. We sat in lawn chairs riding around in the back.
Yep.
But I can remember doing that. So my dad goes back and that I don't know if it was that night or the next day. Maybe him and my uncle went back. I don't remember. But boy, did he let me have it.
Didn't get
that bolt.
Yep. One bolt.
that was one of your bolts. You didn't, and so all that transmission fluid leaked out.
Wow.
But it didn't. You know, they were tough as nails. They didn't damage anything.
Yeah.
He didn't push it.
Oh, those old motors.
The transmission was fine. The motor was fine. I mean, everything was fine. But yeah,
they don't make them like they used to.
Like a Sherman tank, man.
Yeah.
I've seen people run cars till they were hot. They should be destroyed. Cool them off, put water in them, they go. I've seen lift trucks that way.
I want to tell you what, this is no joke. I can remember, this back in junior high school, a buddy of mine snuck out his dad's Cuda. And I mean, it was a beast, even back then. But
yeah,
we drove that thing so hard when it quit running. I think it was out of oil or something. I'm not sure, but the motor block was glowing red when we pulled the hood up on it. I thought, that's not good.
That's not good at all.
I kept telling him, I said, man, I smell something. I smelled it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And he'd just mat that thing. We'd be doing donuts,
I love them little shows, and I know people. Sometimes I feel bad because I know people are struggling and they do the best they can.
Yeah.
But it's funny in one way, and in another way I feel bad. Because, you have these mechanics and they'll have it up on the rack and they start showing you all the crap they got brought in.
Yeah.
And there was a guy the other day, and it was like everything on the front end that holds everything together was pretty much just hanging by a thread. I mean, there was some things that were twisted, busted, bolts loose.
Right.
I mean, honestly, there's nothing this guy could do but it'd have to replace the whole front end.
Wow.
And it was, they were saying that they were heard a knocking, and he's like, heard a knocking. I mean, he was showing the places where the bolts for the hole had like a groove.
Wow. Wow. Where it moves so much.
I get why you do that, but
Wow.
I like the guy better that goes around and does that. There's a couple of them. They help people.
Yeah.
And they'll fix stuff like that up for people.
Yeah.
And it's always poor people. They just don't have much money and resources. And there was a mentality. I don't know if it's still out there today, but back in the day, you drove a car till it dropped.
Yeah.
If you couldn't afford to do it, you just kept putting Band-Aids on it till it dropped. Then you went and got another few $100 car.
Yeah.
And that's what people that are very poor, sometimes that's what they do.
Well, I mean, it's for transportation. It's to get you from point A to point B.
Yeah, and nowadays it's hard to find. I mean, those kind of cars because honestly, they're hard to find because the used car market, cars in general, are much more expensive nowadays.
Yeah,
but you can still find cars. I've seen them advertised for a few $100. You buy that, you're probably gonna have to keep oil in it or by the case, or you drive it until it's just done. I mean, look what they do in Cuba. They can't get access to American car parts.
Their own parts.
They just rig that stuff up the best way they can. You got to give them credit. All these 1950s cars running around Cuba.
Yep.
They keep them going. You do what you got to do is the expression.
Pretty much.
Do what you got to do. You remember Zen that worked at the plant?
I do.
Now, only he could. I'm not going to tell the whole story because only he could tell the story. But his sister-in-law, I think it was needing to move back up here from Florida.
Right.
So Zen just like Zen, he just always drove whatever. He was kind of like it. He always would drive the fixer-upper because he was a mechanic. So he had this truck, and he pulled a trailer behind it. And to tell you, he knew how bad it used oil because he got a case of oil before he left.
Yeah.
And every 30 miles, he would have to stop and put oil in it. Every 30 miles all the way to Florida.
Wow.
It's smoking. I mean, but he gets all the way down there, and he had a universal joint going bad, too. I mean, everything was going bad.
Right.
So he gets down there, and he loads all of her stuff up. And they're on the way back, and just on the other side of, the Florida line, somewhere down in there around, what
South
is that?
Georgia.
No, North Florida. But what's that interstate that crosses right there across the top of Florida? I-10?
I don't remember. It might be I-10.
I can't remember. Anyway, it's going out. So he pulls off to this little parts store, which is about to close. I don't think he had tools.
Yeah.
Anyway, It was something like I think he got the universal joint, but something about there was something else bad, the sleeve or something.
Right.
So he took stuff and just took shims and jammed in there to hold all this crap together. This
Just to make it home.
well, just to make it home. So he
Yeah.
makes it all the way just the other side of Macon, and it goes really bad.
Oh.
So he pulls over on the side of the road. He calls his wife, who's up in North Georgia.
Yeah. Yeah.
She drives all the way down, gets him. He takes off that whole drive shaft, loads it up, has it sticking out the back of the car, loads it, and he forgot left his phone laying in the driver's seat actually.
Wow.
And the phone was still there when he got back. But he drove
Wow.
all the way home. He woke a guy up. This was on a Saturday night or something.
Yeah.
He woke a guy up on a Sunday morning that used to work there, and he had a shed, his own shop.
What did he do with all the stuff that was on the trailer?
They sit there
It just sat
because
there.
she rode back with him and stayed up there. So he
Okay.
and they had to like, this thing got warped. So they got it all fixed up and everything. And he goes all the way back down there, puts his thing on, gets in, and drives that thing home.
Wow.
It took like 2.5 days or something by the time it was all over. And he went through like 2 or 3 cases of oil.
Right.
Man, and I want to tell you, man.
I came up with a cartoon. It could be a pretty. It's called the Redneck Avengers, and they go around helping people that are broke down on the side of the road.
Yeah.
And they use nothing but a screwdriver and duct tape and a hammer. Fix anything.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, I thought it'd be a funny cartoon, or
Well, I just was
something.
thinking, what? I know duct tape can hold a lot of things together, but I was thinking some things might not.
Yeah, some things.
I mean, but if it's a cartoon, I guess you could play a little bit loosely with the facts.
you can. Yeah, exactly.
So,
Exactly.
well, the reason I'm laughing is I was thinking there are real people
That
would
do that.
that would go around and say, "Oh,
Well, I came
we'll
up
get her done."
I came up with the idea because me and a buddy of mine, Zach, that's what we did. We didn't just ride around looking for people, but as we were, going from job to job, whatever, if we saw somebody broke down the side of the road, I'd say pull over and see if we can help them. I mean,
Oh yeah,
I always do that. I still do that to this day.
Yeah.
But I noticed something yesterday as we were broke down on the side of the road.
yeah.
We didn't even have anybody look at us. There was a Cleveland police officer went by, and he didn't even look over our way. So,
He's like, whatever.
yeah, y'all are on your own. But God is good. It could have been a lot worse. Where I was able to park was actually a very wide shoulder that was gravel, and it looked like semis, pull off side of the road right
Yeah.
there. And when it quit, I was coming up to a stoplight, and I had I was in front. I had the pole position at this light, and there was a semi that had the pole position on the right side. I was in the passing lane. And as it turned green as I got to it, and I went to give it gas, and there wasn't nothing there. And so I was going fast enough I could get in front of him, and I pulled over there, and it was deader than a doornail. I have no idea. It's got to be something fuel related, I think.
Did you have your hood up when people weren't helping? Did you have the hood up on it?
Yeah.
They're like, whatever, man. Everybody today just figures you've called for help. So,
Pretty much.
But
I still stopped.
or people are afraid. I would help people.
It's like the
And how
guy,
many times?
picked this stranger up on the side of the road. It was a country road. The guy was walking down, had a backpack, and this guy stopped, said, "Need a ride?" And he said, "Sure." He got in, and they're sitting there, driving down, and they're talking, and they're the only two, cab of this truck. And the guy he picked up looked at him and said, "Not many people do this anymore." He said, "How do you know I'm not a serial killer?" Guy looked at him and said, "Really?" He said, "What are the chances of 2 serial killers being on the same road at the same time?"
I love it. Me and that wasn't Kaylee. It was that might have been Kaylee. I think it might have been me and Kaylee. We saw these people broke down at, the meat market that's up here,
Yeah.
hood up,
Russell.
and they were Rusty's.
Rusty's. Well, his last name was Russell.
Yeah, so I knew you knew about the place, but
Mhm.
anyway, they had the hood up, and it was some inner city urban folks. We'll just say it that way.
Right.
And I have no. I mean, I love everybody. It doesn't matter to me. So we pull up. It's a hot day, and what it was, they were broke down. What it was, they were actually going to pay their car payment down there. They bought by the week or month or whatever, probably by the week.
Right.
At this car lot. It was a decent little car, but something happened to it. It wasn't a major, and it seemed like to me they had their plug wires looked to me like it was bad.
Right.
It was something to do with that. And but the guy, the girl was there. It was a girl and a little kid, and two guys. And the one guy, he looked like he was the local resident expert mechanic, although I don't think he knew much.
Right.
And so you got to watch.
Did he have grease under his nails?
No,
Okay.
people get real defensive. So I just said, "Hey, you need some help?" And there was the one guy there. He's looking at me like I'm Satan.
Really?
He's obviously just not like me, probably for color. He just not. He's giving me the look like just. I mean, he's like he'll snap on you in a minute. But the girl is saying, "Yeah, if you can help us." So I get to looking, and I'm not trying to tell him anything. I said, "What do you think it is?" Well, I can see some things already, And, well, I don't know. We think it's this, and I sort of got him around to the idea it might be, it looked like it got bad plug wire because it wouldn't stay on. It was, it was bad.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't firing right and everything. So I said, well, hey, because they said, well, we don't know where a parts place is at. So they said, we got to get, the girl said, I got to get down the street here to pay my car thing before a certain time.
Right.
And, even
I'll give you a ride.
And that's what I said. I got my little girl. I said, y'all jump in, I'll give you a ride. So the guy stayed there. I took her down there. And actually, they had this thing. They do a drawing at that particular car lot every month.
Mm-hmm.
And if they draw your name out, or week or whatever it is, your payment, you don't pay it.
No, that's awesome.
It's
forgiven.
It's forgiven.
Yeah.
So it's just a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, it is.
She won.
Awesome.
So she took that money across the street to AutoZone and got the parts she needed, and I took them back. I didn't even attempt to try to help them because they just.
Well, you helped them enough.
Yeah, I did, but they didn't want my assistance or whatever.
Yeah.
But Kaylee was like, "Why does that guy act like that?" Kids kids are not racial.
Nope, they're not.
They don't see it, and she's like, "Why is that guy looking at you like that? What's wrong with him?" I said, "Well, it's just he's been raised to believe that I'm the enemy. That I'm a bad guy. That I'm against him."
Yep.
And she, but
unfortunately, you run into that.
The girl was very thankful. She's like, "Thank you so much." Same thing. Nobody stopped. We didn't know what to do. It was a hot day, man. I mean, one of them steamers. We get down here in the South.
Oh yeah.
And I was glad that I could help. Good morning, Tomford and Oddball. I like the name Oddball. Hey,
Oddball, peace.
Fit right in around here.
Heard that.
All y'all that are coming in different streams, thank you so very much. Happy Saturday. This March the 7th.
Top of the morning to you.
Top of the morning, 8:53 Eastern Standard Time.
Ain't quite top of the morning. We passed that a little while back.
Well,
still,
it sounds good.
It's close enough. Yeah.
It's kind of one of those sayings we say here in the South. It don't have to be exact. We just say it, and it fits whatever scene that you're in.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's like down here we call everybody brother.
Yep.
Or bud or brother, or guys do anyway.
Well, I've called people brother for good Lord. I guess I picked it up. I don't know, maybe from Hulk Hogan or something, but definitely in the church.
Yeah, and we're Christian, and I had a preacher once kind of scolded me about that. He goes, "I don't call nobody brother except he's a brother, a blood brother, or brother in Christ." I said, it's just meant as a term of endearment, like, "Hey, brother,"
Yeah.
It's just like a friend, to me. I was like,
exactly.
Chill out, chill out. I get it. I understand the spiritual part.
Right.
But calm down,
We'll take some L-theanine. Something. Chill out.
But I'm glad y'all got off the side of the road. We had a good show last night, even though I had to step away a few times. I apologize for that. If you were watching the show, we got it all handled, though.
I was talking with Dean, while you were away on one of them. I step away quite a bit, and I can't help it. There's something about the mushroom coffee, best coffee in the world. But boy, it goes through me. My goodness, it goes through me.
I guess for me, it's weird because I never do it. Like
Right.
when I'm in front of when I'm doing a show,
You never step away.
I never
hardly.
step away.
Yeah.
I don't.
I don't see how you do it.
I just don't. And for me, it's the
My
weirdest
prostate won't
thing.
let me.
For me, it's the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
I just stay at the controls. But anyway, it was a good show. I enjoyed talking about that. We got an old new friend, new to you,
An old new friend.
that will be which only I know. Everybody else will get to know. He's going to start working with us here probably in the next week.
That's awesome.
Different shows and get his feet wet, and it'll be a blessing to us. And he'll bring another perspective. And
Right.
I don't know that he'll be in every show, but he'll be in some.
That's
It gives
what I love
gives
about
us someone
this.
else. What's that?
Yeah. I mean the diversity.
Yeah,
And that's what we're trying to build. Is diversity within our group.
Well, you know what he said? He said, I don't know if Daryl's listening. He said, I like the way y'all do the show. He said, you'll talk about anything.
Yeah.
And we really do. I mean, we're not a one stop. And I've had people get kind of mad because they say, well, you don't talk about this enough or that enough. I don't want to talk about one thing every day. If I talk about the one thing every day, I leave everything else laying on the table.
Exactly.
And so he says, you talk a little politics, you talk sports, you talk music, you talk history, you talk life, you talk Jesus, you talk whatever.
That's right.
And I said, well, that was by design. I said, I wanted,
And we're going to have different shows to cover some of those.
and you
things.
got to have that. And that
But
was the
still.
way it was designed, at least from my perspective, from the beginning. And that's why I began to do some other shows, because I wanted to talk about things, not as a resident expert on anything, just that I wanted to have the conversation.
Just bring relative things to the forefront.
Yeah, and if people want to come in and have a different opinion, I am fine with that, because we all have different opinions. We just do that respectfully.
Exactly.
And that's the thing.
I forget who it is, but they're trying to build a complex in the name of Charlie Kirk, where you can go and have open debate. Civil open debate. And when you can be open and honest with people and have true conversation with them, even though you don't see eye to eye on certain things, you can still find common ground in certain areas. And that's what we need to do as a nation. We need to start trying to find some common ground with each other, because this separation is getting out of hand. I mean, it's growing, it's getting out of hand, and there's so many lies being told. And Satan is the father of lies.
Well, when the Apostle Paul, went to Mars Hill and other places where he was traveling, he became all things to all people. Meaning he knew how to talk in any situation.
Right.
Paul was learned enough that he could talk to the highest of the highest caliber, highest IQ people.
Oh yeah.
That a particular area had to offer. But he also could talk to the beggar on the street.
Right.
And we have to be able to have that broad spectrum of being able to talk to people. Some people meaning you don't want to talk over some people's heads. You got to break it down.
No, you have to meet them where they're at.
You meet them where they're at, exactly. Yeah. And I have friends that are way, way different than me on lots of things. I have friends that are atheists. I have friends that are politically way away from me. What we do have is respect for each other,
gay
love
friends.
for each other.
I have a lot of different friends. I'm not going to shun anybody.
We choose not to tear into each other about an issue.
Right.
We stand our ground, and we know how each other feels about it.
But you can still bring truth.
But we can still talk about it, and the things about it. And what I've found is, it really, and this goes back when you go to church and all the differences that people have in church. In any denomination, there are differences. I have found that when you take away the big hitters, most things we agree on. Yeah. Humans agree on a lot of basic things, but there are those major touch points. And I got news for us: we're never going to all agree on all of that, and no one group.
When Christ comes,
well, I am with that, but
that's it.
But that's in a new realm. That's in a new body. That's in a new leadership and theocracy.
Yep.
In this life, the way it is, we are never going to all agree. Never. And we just have to realize that. And I will tell you what, you could do a poll. You could do an anonymous poll in your church. You could, or wherever group or family or whatever. And those you never know what somebody really thinks, because some people don't tell you.
That's true.
And if you ask them what they believed on certain topics, it'd be shocking in some churches what they would find out their congregation believes in or doesn't believe in. because not everybody believes exactly the same, even though they're going to a like-minded church and they agree with basically the mission statement of that church.
Yeah.
They don't all agree.
You know, if you want to know somebody's true mind and heart, put them in a life-threatening situation.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
Yeah. The real will come out.
Quickly.
Yeah.
Very quickly. I've seen it happen over and over and over.
And it is within all of us to do good or to do bad. And there is that fine line that we have, you know.
That's the reason why God gave us free will.
Yeah.
You know, without free will, you can't have true love, number one.
We choose to do the right things. We choose to do good.
We choose to love God. We choose, you know, to accept the salvation that Jesus Christ has offered us through the shedding of his blood.
Amen.
Because without the shedding of blood, there can be no remission of sin. And God had a plan, you know, from the very beginning, and his plan is working out perfectly the way that it's supposed to. And, you know, all I can say is if you're listening to us right now and you don't know Jesus Christ as your personal Savior, he's not hard to find.
Amen.
He's not hard to find.
He hasn't moved.
No.
And another thing, and I've thought about this a lot lately, is a lot of people, because we're such an in tune human race across the world with the ability to know everything in an instant and to be impacted by news that's coming really fast and furious and all that. And everybody, like we are a podcast. You know, this is a business. This is something we love to do, but it is a business. We are a podcast, or some people call it content creators or whatever. I tend to think of it as a media group. I've always thought of us as a media group because we have different kinds of media.
Right.
But whatever it is, people today, and they want to, you know, everybody's got an opinion on everything. And even with a podcast, though, or whatever it is, or it doesn't matter how big or small you are, or this or that. You can mention something. It's not going to change everybody's opinion about stuff just because you say it. In fact, we get people that come by that say we're stupid and we're dumb and we're this and we're that, because but that's not even the point. The point is that you're not going. This is the point I'm getting to. We're not going to change. All we can do is do the best we can, inform people, lead them to Christ. But what is coming, we can't stop.
No,
we cannot stop, and that is the plan of God. Amen. We cannot stop that.
Come, Lord Jesus.
We will not alter that. And the evil that's in the world, we're not going to stop evil, no matter how much we talk against it. And you can't change people from laws. Laws don't change people.
No, they don't.
Faith in Christ, his being within them, changes their heart.
Amen.
You put laws in because people break laws, and you have to have some sort of penalty. But a law does not make people do right things.
No,
it's like a speed limit, man.
Exactly. It's more of a suggestion to me.
And I wasn't meaning that when I looked your way, but as I think about it, it was a perfect segue to you.
It really was.
Because
it worked perfectly. Because you know, and I've learned I've got to slow down. And, you know, it's really strange. Yesterday, I use cruise control a lot now. You know, I'll go about 5 miles over the speed limit and hit cruise control. You know, especially with big mud tires on, you know, Jeep, truck, whatever, you know, it throws your MPH off a little bit. But I can't afford a ticket right now.
That's the penalty.
Yeah, I don't want that other one to be enforced, that's for sure.
There are those things we did in safety years ago under one of the safety programs we did, and they would call them pick and nicks. And there are those things that are positive and there's things that are negative that influence us.
Right.
A speed limit sign is a negative. It's a reminder of what can happen if you break that speed limit, or could happen. I mean, and we would always say, like, if somebody pulled you over and you were doing, let's say you were doing 55 in a 55, and the police pulled you over and gave you $100 for obeying the speed limit, that would influence you.
Sure would.
A lot of people would say, I'm going to travel 55 miles an hour everywhere I go, or whatever the speed limit is.
Exactly.
And try to get another $100.
Yeah.
But what happens is we get the negative. It's like you see the lights behind you, you're like, or you see the guy on radar. I crossed one the other day. He pulled in. I saw him. He was behind me, but he turned, and I knew he was going to set up the radar. I had to come back that way, and I was watching my speed. Sure enough, he had that big gun right out the window, pointed at you. And anyway, that's a negative. It's like, okay, if I see that and I know I'm speeding, because everybody does two things. They look at their speed limit, you know, how fast they're going.
And then they hit their brakes.
And they hit their brakes.
It doesn't matter how fast they're going.
And they try to act all cool about it like they weren't going that fast.
Yeah.
what's funny is the radar got you around the corner before you ever
Yeah,
even
they
saw
got
it.
you, he got you before you saw him.
Yeah, and they have forward and rear facing radar,
Yep.
so they can get you, and they could be in front of you, and just.
People
But
don't realize that.
Yeah, it's a negative influencer,
Yeah.
And like you said, I can't afford a speeding ticket right now.
Well,
That doesn't make you feel good. You're not happy about that.
right.
That you can't, because you have to restrain more.
Yeah.
And humans rebel against those types of things.
I got behind a Tennessee Highway Patrolman the other day on Highway 153. Speed limit's 55.
Yeah.
We were doing 70. I was right behind him, stayed right with him.
And by the way, most people drive about 70 on that highway, but
Or
they
faster.
or faster, and they do write a lot of tickets on that road.
Yes. But
stretch of highway.
If he would have, attempted to pull me over to write me a ticket, I would have done the same thing to him. Because they're not allowed to go over the speed limit unless their lights are on.
Citizens arrest.
That's exactly right. Citizens arrest. Citizens arrest. Where'd that come from?
Andy Griffith Show is Barney and
That's
Gomer.
right. That's right. That's
Citizens
right.
arrest.
Yeah. Yep.
It reminds me of my wife and my youngest son were at the doctor once, and he was telling my wife, and he always had a mouth, but he was matter of fact about stuff. He was a friendly guy and always got along with people, but
Yeah.
he would say things matter of fact. And the doctor was saying, well, you got to work on your weight. You got to get out and get to that walking track and do some walking. Well, this he's a pretty good chunker. And he looks down at my son. She took him only because he was out of school that day or
Right.
something, and so that's why he was with her. And he looks down at him and he said, "Little man, you can go with her." He said, "You need to get out there too." And so Josh, he said, well, "What about you, doctor?
Yeah.
You ain't missed many meals, man." Doctor got mad.
Yeah, man.
But he said, "You're right. We do need to go."
They
But
don't like it coming back at them.
no, they don't.
The way I look at it, if you can't take a joke, don't play the game.
Our doctor, he was great. One of the doctors that was working with my wife at the hospital, he come in to talk to us and everything. And
Right.
he was saying, we're gonna let you out of here around 3. And he said, so I was just talking to him about, making sure what she could eat, what's, off
Yeah.
limits if there's anything. And I said, she's good with having her coffee in the morning. He said, sure, coffee, Jack Daniels.
Whatever.
I was like, geez, doc. He said, just kidding.
Right.
I said, we don't put that in the coffee, but.
Oh, I have. That used to, every morning.
So that was the morning belter,
Oh, yeah.
the morning belt, coffee and Jack.
Half a cup of Jack Daniels and a little bit of coffee in
Yeah.
it.
It's like an Irish cup of coffee right there.
Yeah.
How much is in there? Which you could always say is for medicinal purposes.
That's true. I think, when I was a kid, if you got a sore throat, honey, lemon, and whiskey, that's what you were given.
Yeah.
Honey, lemon, and whiskey. And it worked. Boy, you felt good too. You'd get outside and play. It didn't matter how sick you were.
Well, my family, for my dad, it was always castor oil, but
Yeah.
for me, I don't. Remember.
We've got
it
that
wasn't
in
whiskey though.
We've got castor oil in our apothecary. My wife
Yeah.
has a whole apothecary thing of all the oils, essential oils, and she makes some amazing concoctions. I was having trouble with my stomach, and she put together 3 or 4 different oils, and then you add a binder, which is castor oil, or whatever.
Yeah.
There's a binder for that, and you rub it in my belly button at night, around my belly button. No problems whatsoever.
Huh.
It's amazing. I put something. My knee was bothering me.
What if you have an outie, not an innie?
Well,
just for knowledge.
you can rub it around it, I guess. I don't know. I've got an innie. I don't know.
I figure I'd help people out.
Well, yeah, you gotta test.
I mean,
these
there's gonna be
things.
somebody ask that question.
That's true.
And there are people who do not have a belly button. And
Really?
I just stunned Paul.
Yeah, you did. I didn't know. I thought everybody had a because everybody has an umbilical cord when they're born, where it's cut off.
My wife does not have a belly button.
Wow,
That's because of surgery, though.
I got you.
That was due to hernias, and she does not have a belly button anymore, because that is a weak point.
Yeah,
That is a
it
point.
is.
That's where you get them. A lot of times, not the
Right
only
around the
place,
belly
especially
button.
for men, but
Yeah.
you will get them around there, because my wife had to have 2 hernia surgeries.
Well,
They had to do that in order, and
they
it's
put the
lasted.
mesh around all that good stuff.
Her skin is smooth as silk right across. There's no belly button
Wow,
there.
babe.
It's just gone. So, so there's you another one to think about.
There you go.
It does. There are people.
Right.
We are going to have a holistic person come on and talk about all these things
Her
soon.
name is Bess Howard.
I'm hoping this month, and we'll see how that works. But
I've got to get back in touch with her anyway. I've got to go have some blood work.
maybe she could bring some samples of some stuff and show some of the stuff. Does she offer that, or just have you go get it?
No, she either writes a prescription or we order it online. There are a couple of places online that are very reputable for peptides and things of that nature. Which
Look at Broski real quick. I've been driving and listening, taking a cruise out in the country, and right when you first mentioned cops and radar, there was a cop posted up pointing his radar at me as I passed.
oh wow,
What a coincidence!
you weren't going too fast, were you, broski?
Got
Slow her
that
down,
gun
son.
out there.
Well,
Did he really have to have the gun? I mean, the radar works. I mean, you have to point the gun.
it depends on what kind of radar you have.
I always
They
thought
got
that was-
lidar, radar, laser. They've got all kinds of.
Anyway, I'm sorry. Continue your story. That cracked me up.
Oh,
That she
Well,
writes a
right.
prescription for.
different things,
Yeah.
but there are reputable. You can't just go buy peptides from anywhere.
Yeah.
And I've been taking MK677 because I'm wanting to bulk up a little bit, and I found out.
Well, maybe you could bring some samples and show them.
Oh, I'm sure I can do that. But
I mean, you gave me some of these.
the Nooms,
Yeah.
that's NAD, and that is
If I
really
can get that back up. NAD.
that is really good for you. But
And you just tear them and drink them down, right?
that's it. I usually take scissors to it, but
They work.
as long as it works. And
There you go.
if you've ever had as a kid, they used to have these little wax soda bottles that were full of different flavors. That's exactly what those taste like.
Well, it's
That's
good.
it.
Good flavor.
Yeah. It's not bad,
I
but
got
those are really good for you.
I got one more. I got about.
I'll
You
bring you
want
some more. I've already had mine.
All right.
I'll bring you some more. I get a case of them every month. But the BPC 157 with TB 500, CLK 2194. So anyway, there's all kinds of different.
Why
things.
can't we have just a name? Why do we have to have BF 549?
Exactly.
I mean,
I
why,
agree. Yeah,
why do we have to have that? Does
but
this have a number on it?
it
One. Well, it just says the milligrams. It doesn't say.
Right.
Okay, does it?
it
But you get all these things, and it's like 27-3
that's
ML,
just the
MLD.
the
dash
scientific
top.
number they got. But this stuff breaks down in your body and it produces MK677 eventually once it gets through taking care of all the other things that it does.
Okay.
But BPC 157 along with TB 500, they call it the BPC 157 the Wolverine peptide. I know you've probably heard me talk about it before.
Yep.
It was developed for our military, to make them a little more indestructible, able to heal faster. That's why they call it the Wolverine peptide, and it works. I mean, it works really well. I've been out for about a week now, and I'm noticing some things. Where I have strained muscles and stuff working out. I've got one now right behind my shoulder blade back here, right in the middle. I've got a knot about that big around that's got to be worked out. But the BPC 157 helps these things heal really, really quick.
Yeah.
I told you I had shingles,
Right.
a few months back. With the BPC 157 and the nicotine patch, my shingles dried up in 4 days. 4 days. Normally it takes weeks. I've still got the scars, and I know that it was shingles because shingles will not cross the center line of your body. If you get it on this side, it'll stay on that side. It will not go to the other side.
Hmm.
It's amazing the way that works. If you get it on your face, it'll be on one side of your face, not on both sides of your face.
Huh. Broski says eggs, cabbage, and whey protein drink every day to gain weight.
That'll do it.
He said it is amazing the police presence in the country. I've seen more cops in the past 5 miles than I have around my place in the past couple of months.
Wow. That's because it's getting pretty outside. Everybody's getting spring fever, and people are going to get out and open them up. People getting their little hot rods out, especially out in the country.
And the county needs money.
Yep. And that's how they generate revenue.
They say they never do that, but
they've got a quota.
You have got to produce so many.
I know too many cops. They have quotas.
I mean, you can't just go around all day as a cop and not write tickets. I mean, you wouldn't last. They wouldn't keep you.
No.
They would not. I mean, that generation.
They'd say you're not doing your job. You're not harassing enough people or whatever,
Well, it shows that you're out there getting on people for a few things. It keeps the courts busy and the money coming in.
But the funny thing is,
not everybody has to pay, but a lot of them do.
I used to tell people all the time that the police need to change their motto from to protect and serve to harass and intimidate, because that's what some of them do.
There are some that do that,
and I love giving it right back to them. If I'm in the right, which I normally am. I'm just joking.
Dean Potts,
the chaser.
The chaser. I bet Dean. I bet Dean's been pulled over.
Jeremy Cordell in the house.
But I bet he didn't give. The cops a hard time. Yeah. Oh, did you eat that, Jer? Yeah. Well, good. Thank you for that, son.
Gracias.
And I don't think Dean gave the cops a hard time.
No, Dean's not going to give anybody a hard time but me and you.
Exactly.
And he goes out of his way.
He goes out of his way. He
to
really
get to you anyway. I mean, he's come slamming down on me here a couple of times.
It's just because
especially
that he secretly loves Taylor Swift, and he loves Bubba Wallace, and he hates it because I call him out on that.
Secretly. He's a Swiftie,
and he's a Swiftie.
We love you, Dean.
I bet Dean is this is what I met a guy once. I didn't really meet him. I saw him.
Right.
I had opportunity to do security at a WWEF. I don't know which one it was.
Yeah.
Event. I guarded wrestler parking.
Gotcha.
Kept out the riffraff.
Yeah.
There was a guy that came to the arena in a referee uniform. And I'm thinking this either has to be some kind of a gimmick or he's a nut.
Or both.
Or both. I figured out he was more a nut than gimmick. Because as he started seeing the wrestlers, he was going, hey, I can help out tonight if you need me. I'm already ready, dressed, ready to go.
He was a nut. Certified.
He was a nut.
Wow.
So
I can help tonight if you need me. Just saying.
Could you see Dean going to the race in his
dressed up in a
NASCAR rules outfit, going, hey, if you need help, I'm your guy.
Yeah, or
going to the Swift concert.
Yeah.
And having on the Swifty stuff, and saying, I could, I'm ready to join you on stage if you need help. I'm here.
That'd be like me showing up in a race car driver's uniform saying, hey, if you need any help, I'm right here. I got you back.
No, Dean wouldn't be the official. He would show up in the race uniform. He would.
And he'd drive the heck out
and he'd be telling, he'd be hollering.
He'd drive that thing like a PT Cruiser.
If he said, hey, Chase, I got you.
I got you.
You get
back,
sick,
man.
anything.
Bubba.
Yeah. You hemorrhoids start acting up, I'm your guy.
Yeah,
Let me know. I'll jump in the seat.
Man.
I'm ready to go. I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Have you ever looked at people
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
that you thought when you saw that commercial, you're thinking, I think I've met people like that.
I know why.
They're nuts, but they act like they know everything. And you at first they fool you. You're like,
This guy's
okay, and
smart.
it don't take a couple of minutes to figure out somebody's just a nut.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay. Well, thanks. I'll take that into consideration. I appreciate
Thank
your
you.
advice.
Thank you for your input.
I knew this guy once, and he has passed. And he had some things happen. I think when he was born, he's come from a very military family, and
Right.
he was a funny guy in a lot of ways. He was very helpful, but he's kind of a nut. I mean, just in the way he thought about stuff.
You're not talking about me, are you?
No.
Okay, I just make sure.
No, but I was talking to him one day, and I didn't know him like real well. I met him through a friend,
Right.
and I was talking to him about I don't know. We were just having general conversation like you do. You just kind of get to know each other.
Yeah.
And I'm listening. I try to listen more than I talk. I'm listening to this guy. He was saying something about going up to the old. It's not there anymore, but the bowling alley here in town.
Oh yeah, they tore it down.
Yeah, well,
I can't believe it.
we were talking. We were having this. You never know when you talk to somebody that's not really there.
Yeah.
You'll be having a normal conversation, and it will take such a hard right turn that it almost you'll break your neck trying to figure out what just happened.
Oh
And
yeah.
we were having this normal conversation about just general life stuff, and all of a sudden, TC mentioned the bowling alley. And I said, "Oh, you bowl?" He said, "No, but I'm keeping an eye on it." What do you mean you're keeping it? You guard for him like security? No. But I have to. I've been sent there to keep an eye
Keep
on.
an eye out.
It is a CIA operation for a cocaine ring,
I got you.
and I'm working for the FBI.
It's that North Georgia Mafia.
I mean, it happened that quick, and I'm sitting here going, I'm waiting on him to laugh.
Yeah.
He's not laughing,
No, he's serious.
and I went, "What the heck just happened?" Like
Some
we were
people-
on this road right here, and then we took a hard right turn. I
Yeah.
mean, hard right,
Onto not even a dirt road.
not even a
It's
dirt
gravel.
road, and I was like, and so I thought, well, maybe he had a bad day. So, no, over time, I heard him talk about that many times.
Wow.
But they would move around. He used different places as that was always the command
It was their
headquarters.
cover.
Yeah, it was their cover. It really wasn't a bowling alley. That was just a cover. They were
Wow.
moving massive amounts of cocaine. I would say there were probably people that went there that did cocaine,
Oh, I know that. Yeah, there was.
but they weren't moving cocaine.
Well, I
through
don't
that.
know about that. There might have been some moving through there, but I can guarantee you one thing: CIA wasn't there.
No, I'll tell you a funny story. We used to bowl in a league there, and if we couldn't bowl on the league night, but they would give you an opportunity. You had to do it within a certain amount of time.
Right.
You could actually pre-bowl if you wasn't gonna be able to make it out. You could pre-bowl. They would set you up. They watched you
Record your numbers.
record your numbers, and you already had your. And it happened a couple of times. We had to do
Right.
that. And so we went, and we were in there in the morning. There was hardly nobody there. It just opened. I think we got there at 9:00. But one of the guys I worked with, you may have remembered the guy. He was American, but he was of Korean descent, and he could talk. He talked as redneck as anybody. But
Right.
he brought his
Wasn't
son.
Henry Cho, was it?
No,
You know who Henry
Yeah.
Cho is, comedian.
but he brought his son in, and this guy, he bowled pretty hard. Like he bowled so hard when the ball would go halfway down the lane in the air before it dropped and hit. It would hit and it hit the pins. That's how hard he threw the ball. It's like
Wow.
the bowling ball. I'm like, dude. I mean, he talking about winding up.
Smashing things.
Well, his little boy, while he is in his motion and he's just fixing to let go,
Mhm.
the little boy discovers that little button for the return, and he presses it about the time he lets go.
I bet that made a noise.
That
when it
gate
hit
come
that thing.
down. It hit that gate so hard. I mean, it sounded like a shotgun
I
blast
bet.
went off in there.
I bet.
Now, everybody in there looked, and it jammed the gate. And the guy looks at all the owners, the managers. He's like, "I'm sorry, it's my son." He just threw his son on the bus. He didn't mean to do it. They went back and they had to have a guy just beat on it, man, to
Wow.
get that gate back on the
He
track.
had thrown that ball so hard.
So hard, man.
Wow.
So you would think you have a day like that, it's probably going to go pretty smooth. You got the bad out of the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Never do it again.
But no.
No, he had another episode, and this was all on him. Somehow, if you're throwing a bowling ball, I mean, you have to keep your fingers.
He's literally throwing the ball.
He's really throwing
Yeah.
throwing it. Well, because he throws so hard, he wasn't keeping his hands. There's little things you can put on your hands to keep them where they don't
Yep.
get sticky and
Yep.
all that. You don't want that. You want to smoothly slide out. The fingers to slide
That's
out.
right.
Not too quick, but not stick.
I used to have a rubber thumb guard
Yeah.
that went in there, and when I would release it, you'd hear it every time.
And he wasn't using his own ball. He was using the stock balls there.
Right.
And he throwed a heavy one. I mean, like 15 pounds or whatever it was.
Wow.
So
He must have been a big boy.
he had one get stuck, his thumb. And when he let go, it kind of almost took him with him. By the time it let go, his hand has already went up in the air. So the bowling ball goes up and hits like not the ceiling, but they had those little dividers on the. He hit one of those. It came back down in the center lane and hit it so hard. I thought it broke. I thought it cracked the wood.
Wow.
Dude, they come and talk to him after that. Like, man,
yeah, you need to learn how to bowl or something.
are you about done? Because you're wrecking our bowling alley.
Yeah, no joke.
And we were about
And
done.
they have every right.
Sure, man. The guy's killing them, man.
Yeah.
I was bowling right there with him, so I'm like, oh my gosh, I knew what was coming. I mean, they come running over there, like, what the heck are you doing, man?
Hey, at Lake Winnepesaukah, have you ever been, they've got them guns, that shoot the little lead pellets or whatever.
For the
you
ducks
try to
and
shoot
all
the
that.
stars out, got a little thing there. It's got a star in the middle of it. You shoot that whole thing out.
Yeah.
You win a prize. Have you ever shot anything besides what you were supposed to shoot at?
Honestly, I don't remember. Probably, but I don't remember.
I want to tell you, that buddy of mine, he was giving me a hard time. We were up there taking turns, shooting. He had walked off down the way, and they've got them things attached. You can't move them too far.
Right.
I was able to turn that thing right at him. I hit him right in the butt with about 50 of them things. Needless to say, they asked me to leave. But
needless to say,
yeah,
excuse me, sir.
I've been banned from Lake Winnepesaukah for life. I can't go
I
back.
swear, this is the
I
first
think they've
time.
got a picture
This
of
is
me.
the first time
at the
I've
ticket
heard
booth.
this.
Well, I think they got a picture of me still in the ticket booth there.
What did you
do
do
not sell tickets to this
To
man.
get banned for life.
I jumped out of the swing, the
Goes
chairs,
across
the
the-
chairs that go over Lake Winnepesaukah.
Yeah.
I jumped out of one and got into a boat with somebody that I knew down there, and they get over here, kind of like.
I knew some guys that jumped off on the other side on the ground. Never do.
I went right out of the chair right into the water. I mean, it was hot that day in his shorts and a tank top, dry off.
Oh my God.
But that lake,
I've never known
deep.
that.
It's not that deep.
No, not that deep.
I hit bottom when I jumped out of there.
There's a lot of carp in that thing.
Biggins too. Biggins.
I have never heard of anybody say they got. I mean, I've known some thug youth that got banned that were fighting or tried to steal or whatever. But I've just never knew of anybody in my circle that ever said I've been banned for life from Lake Winnepesaukah. So you never got to experience the water park side or anything,
No, I
How long have you been banned?
What was it? 1980.
Oh wow, the heyday.
5, I think, something like that. I was out of high school.
Wow. Did they take you to the gate right then?
Yeah, they followed me.
Get out of here!
You need to leave now.
You're no good. Don't come back.
And I was like, hey, all I did was, jump into the water. I mean, what's the big deal?
Safety, man. I mean,
Exactly.
it hurt their insurance or something,
But anyway,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, that was fun.
But to be fair, back in those days, those chairs,
they weren't that far off the water.
Well, no, but I'm even saying they were unsafe themselves.
Oh yeah,
because at one time all they had was the two little arms. Later on, they got a little bit better locking mechanism, but
Right.
you could fall out of the thing.
You could. You could open it anytime. They didn't lock.
Yeah, it's not the closed-in kind; it's the chair, not the car.
Yeah, it's the lift. You just feet dangle.
Yeah, like you go into a
like a
ski
ski
lift.
lift.
And
Yeah,
it goes over water.
exactly.
But you're up pretty good hike over that thing. I mean,
It's not that high. You're 30 feet maybe, if that.
that's pretty high, dude.
I've jumped off a lot higher than that. jumped off some cliffs that just on the way down, I'm thinking, dude, did you really just jump? You know, and you just gotta. And they're doing it today. They're going in like this, you know, fist, but your feet and your fist are hitting at the same time. And I'm like, I ain't doing that. If I go in, I'm going in straight with my arms like this, and my fist made. I'm going in that way.
Have you ever landed wrong on the water?
Oh,
like,
Lord, yeah.
It felt like your back just got broke because
Jody,
it's like concrete. They say when you hit it like that.
Jody, we were jumping off some cliffs a few years back, and Jody came in at an angle and hit basically on her tailbone.
Oh,
she still has problems with it.
Because I see these people, and I get it. They're doing all the flips and spins and everything. Then at the last minute, they're going in feet first or head first, you know, arm first or whatever. But some people don't. Some people think they're more talented than they really are.
Oh yeah,
and wind. I mean, there's a lot of things that can affect it. I mean, you know.
Well, yeah.
You untuck at the wrong moment or whatever it is.
Well, you know, doing a backflip is it's just as easy as jumping off. I mean, you can come out at any time, you know, and hit feet first if you know what you're doing. It's just a matter of movement. It's like flipping a kayak. You know, when you go upside down in a kayak, if you know how to roll back over, it's simple. If you don't, you're either going to drown or come out of the spray skirt. Something's going to happen.
You're down there, bloop, bloop, bloop.
Yeah, exactly. I remember the first time I ever got in a kayak. It was over at Chickamauga Dam at the marina right there. And the water was glass. I mean, just, you know, there were no boats coming through. It was cold, and, you know, it was just glass. And I thought, this is going to be simple. And I got in that thing, got the spray skirt already, and then I'm paddling across through there. And I turned and looked at my brother-in-law. I said, man, this is it. And I didn't even get the word out. There I was, upside down. Well, I didn't know how to flip one of them things back over. This is the first time I ever been in one. So I pushed that thing away, you know, got out the spray skirt there and had to drag it all the way back over to the bank full of water. But you live and you learn, you know. Hopefully you live to learn. But
so I guess you just practice the next time how to do that.
Yeah, you just get, you know, and, you know, 4 foot of water, 5 foot of water, you know, and roll it until you get it right.
I was, have you ever, I mean, you was up in Ocoee yesterday. You're there, right? Have you went down to Ocoee on with groups and stuff?
Oh, numerous times. I've been down in single. I've been down a raft. I've been down in a life jacket.
I mean, they did some Olympic stuff there at one time, didn't they?
Up above the dam.
It has some pretty good rapids down through there. Now, some of them are not, but some of them are.
The Ocoee Dam. There are 2 dams. There's one down at the bottom, and there's one on up. And the one on up the mountain there is where you put in the rafts and all that stuff. You know, it's not a big dam; it's a smaller dam, and they let a waterfall come off of that quite often, especially when they, you know, do a surge, you know, for the river. But I've been off of that dam before. In a kayak, just went right off of it. And there have been people, you know, it's against the law to do that. You can't do that anymore. But I don't think I could do it then, but did anyway. But they got a big pond up there at the top, and that's where you get in your raft, and they teach you, you know, what to do, what to expect. I have seen one get too close to the edge and go off.
Oh wow.
But now there was only 2 people in it.
Yeah.
All of the group weren't in there. It was, I think it was 2. I think they did it on purpose, to be honest with you, because it was 2 river guides that were in the raft.
Oh, probably.
They said they just got too close and the water took them that way. They couldn't fight it, but I never saw them fight it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But they landed it. I mean, you know, it
have you ever got caught in the whirlpool or whatever they call it?
Oh, yeah. An eddy, whirlpool. Yeah. I've been caught in them above and underwater.
There's people that are not ready for. I mean, if you've never done it, and
you better be able to hold your breath. Is all.
Because it can take a minute to get out of that. I mean, a second or 2. I mean, you gotta
know what you're doing.
You gotta know what you're doing.
Yep.
and depending on what I mean, do they use a numbering scale or a color scale of how forceful that water is for that day? I know at some point they'll just.
They used to use a color scale.
I thought it was something like that.
Yeah.
I guess red is the bad.
Red is bad, just like at the beach.
Yeah.
But you know,
At least you don't get red tide there.
well, yeah. But around here, the water, there's really not any places that are terrible. The most fun place to kayak in this area is North Chickamauga Creek when it rains really, really hard.
Yeah.
Up in Soddy Daisy, coming off of Mowbray Mountain right there. I want to tell you what, dude, I've seen some big water coming over those. I mean, they got some boulders out in that thing, and the water gets huge. I'm talking, 15 15-foot swells.
Have you ever done the Nantahala? Is that what
Yeah.
they call it?
Yeah, we took our grandson down the Nantahala not too long ago. Gage. He was scared to death. I swear this is true. Before you go down, they show you a video, and there's certain parts that you can die here, blah, blah, blah. Well, all Gage heard was you're going to die if you get in that boat.
Oh, man.
That's all he heard. And he was screaming. He was not going to go. And I finally got him calmed down. Me and his Gigi, and we talked to him. And I told the lady, I said, I don't think you need to say that when there's kids in here. You know what I mean? But there was another one that was really good with kids and got into his head really quick, about how safe this is, and here you need this particular helmet, and picked one specially out for him and put it on his head. He said, as long as you got this on, you're good. And he was still a little apprehensive, especially once we got to the water, because you get in a bus and they take you all the way up to the headwater there. He did not want to get in that thing, but by the end we were high-fiving. You high-five with the paddle, we call it, and slap paddles. Oh, he was having a ball. And right at the very end, there's some falls right there that you go over, some decent water, about class 2, I'd say. And they take your picture. They've got, and so they take your picture. Gage went across with his arms up, with holding the paddle like this, going through there smiling, and it just night and day from start to finish.
How long does it last? Like
about an hour and a half, 2 hours. It depends, on how fast you go. If you just float it, you can make it last a little longer. But if you're paddling through, there's some rapids you got to go through. You need to position yourself right when you go down any river. But
I'd say it's really fun if you're doing a group and you're going down, because you can
you can play bumper boats,
have some fun.
Yeah.
It's a big deal around this area. I mean, there's a lot of money.
Hiwassee is another big one. That's an easy float. Don't ever go down the Hiwassee River in an inner tube. And when I say an inner tube, I'm talking about the rubber that comes out of a tire. The old school. That when I went down the Hiwassee the first time, that's what I was in, and I had bruises and cuts on my butt.
You're gonna hit a lot of rock.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Don't do it.
Now, isn't there on the Nantahala? Isn't there a section that you're not supposed to go down, or they don't allow certain people, or maybe they don't even allow?
They allow some. But I've been down. I've been down both sides.
Okay.
And once was legal, the other time was questionable. But it's right there at the Nantahala Outdoors Center. Where the big compound is. Where they got the restaurants.
I don't know if
the
I've ever
Appalachian
actually
Trail
been
comes
there.
through there. Anyway, if you're standing there looking at the river from the road, if you go back to the left, that takes you up to the top, and you come down, and that's your ending point right there. If you go past that, there are some larger falls over there that can be rough. There have been people.
So basically, you just don't come in; you just keep floating. Or
no, they've got you get stopped.
How do you get onto the other one then?
You sneak. But you have to carry your kayak.
Oh yeah,
you have to carry your kayak down the railroad tracks, and then you can. Anyway,
here's Paul going out there, looking around.
Oh, you got to.
So, how did you get back if you're not supposed to be on that? How did you get back from that one?
I had somebody pick us up.
Oh, so you already had it planned.
Oh,
This is
Lord, you
premeditated.
got to have a plan.
This was premeditated. We're gonna. So it wasn't just you; it was others as well.
There's 3 of us.
So y'all premeditated. We're taking the other
Yes.
side. Yeah. Well, what about when you come back? Did they realize what you had done?
We don't stop when we come back. You get in the
Oh,
boat.
it was your own stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no, you don't. No, they don't have kayaks like.
Well,
we
I
do.
didn't know if you could rent something or anything.
You can, but not to do that.
Well, I just thought maybe if you come back, you have to like go through the complex to get to your car or something like that, and they would realize what you did. And
That's the reason why we don't park there.
We've got a plan.
Yep.
We're
Gotta have it.
we're going down the rapids.
But there are several places. The New River's a good one to go down. Which is funny. It's called the New River. It's the oldest river probably in the United States. It's one of the oldest rivers in the country, anyway. That's a good one. There's a lot of good whitewater rafting in this area. That's why Chattanooga is known for being the outdoor city. We got
It
a lot
really
of things
is.
to do.
There's
around
hiking and rafting and canoeing and
here. Yeah, lots of good hiking.
getting on the motorboat or the lazy daisy or whatever.
Rock climbing, rappelling,
Rock climbing.
hang
It's
gliding.
all there, man.
Yeah,
It
whatever
is
you want.
It is a beautiful area.
It's an adrenaline junkie's paradise. Trust me.
Once we got rid
Wow,
of
I live here.
the bad smog that hung over the city, because at one time it was a industrial city.
Brother, I want to tell you what. For the past 5 days, it's been that way.
Well, that's because
they're
of smoke.
burning
Yeah.
over here in North Georgia.
Yeah, they're having a fit, but they have to do
Yeah.
those controlled burns.
Well, they have to, yeah. Either that or it's going to have a bigger fire. That's the reason why we don't have them here like they do out in California, is
Yeah.
because we know how to manage things here.
Yeah,
And
I was
Trump's
taking.
trying to teach them that, or he did.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I was taking one of the grandkids to the high school, and I looked up. It's the first time I'd seen the smoke, believe it or not,
Right.
and it looked like it was going into, I don't know, a vortex or something.
Right.
You remember a few years ago when
We were out.
the fires were around Hickson? It was so bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had to, I told you at that time I was doing security. I'd have to go through this cemetery, and this cemetery was covered up, man. I could look on the hillsides, and everything was on fire.
Yeah.
It was a little freaky, man. There was a
Bet.
lot of people lost homes.
Yep.
This is around the same time that Gatlinburg got hit
Yep.
with those high winds, and
Yep.
it was like an inferno coming down through them valleys and stuff. Man, it was ugly.
Wind is your enemy if you're trying to do a controlled burn. I mean, it's been windy around here since they've been doing it. But
Yeah.
Jody and I, we were four-wheeling in the Jeep back up above the Ocoee. If you go up to Thunder Rock, you know where Thunder Rock is?
Yeah.
You can go on up the mountain, and if you go right, it'll drop you off in Ducktown. If you go left, it'll drop you off in Ducktown. If you go right, it takes you over to Jacks River Falls.
Okay.
And so you go all the way up the mountain, across several mountains and all that. But anyway, as we were driving that way, it hadn't been that long ago, a couple of 3 months, they were doing controlled burns up there. And on one side, you got fire. On the other side, it's not.
Yeah.
So it was really cool to be able to drive through and see, the fire is burning everything over here. It was really.
It happens a lot
Different.
down in Florida too. You'll have.
Oh yeah, they do a lot of control burns.
Well, sometimes they're uncontrolled.
That's
but,
true.
There's, sometimes you have to stop on the interstate. Like it comes
Mhm.
across the interstate. But if they do,
It can
they do
jump.
have to do that controlled burn, or it could be bad. I was down there one time. This has been 26 years ago almost.
Right.
And going from Tampa over to Orlando and stuff, it was a little dicey, man. It was a little
Right.
crazy. A little
Yeah,
crazy.
Okefenokee Swamp, all of those areas surrounding it. You wouldn't think a swamp, wildfire, but yeah,
People don't realize how in wind how fast that fire can jump.
that's
And
exactly
travel.
right. All it takes is an ember. And if
You
the
think
wind's
you're going-
pushing it,
It's like when those guys are watering down their houses and stuff, and you can see like the fire is like close by.
Yep.
They're stupid, man. Get out. You're stupid because it's going to take. And those Santa Ana winds or whatever, man, coming through there, you are done for.
Did you see the video of that tornado fire? It was a tornado created by the heat. It was a heat vortex, and that thing got huge, and it was just amazing.
Yeah, I wouldn't want
And
to see nothing like that coming towards me.
no joke, but you
Good
know,
grief.
that's how the Lord appeared once.
Yeah, amen.
Think about it.
We need that to happen to LA a little more, the Lord coming up.
We need the Lord desperately.
I mean, this country has got so much evil in it. Oh,
well, every knee will bow and every tongue will confess.
Congress is filled with pedophiles, fraudsters,
Hollywood,
thieves, you
same
name it,
thing.
abusers,
Yeah.
liars. I mean, it's bad.
Cheaters. It's
They vote out some. They bring in a whole new batch, and they're no different.
that's true.
They're no different. And that's not say everyone, because I do know a couple.
There are some, but God is using.
But I think the longer you stay in, the longer, and that's why you shouldn't be in Congress a long time or any elected office.
I think
The
there has
longer
to be
you're
term
in,
limits.
Yeah, the longer
There's
you're
gotta be.
in, the more likely you are to turn bad.
Well, yeah, the
Because-
temptation is there all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many lobbyists out there, and with all this PAC money, and it's
Nobody should be serving for 50 years.
No,
that's ridiculous.
They shouldn't.
I mean, come
They
on.
shouldn't. I mean, good Lord.
I mean, look at there are so many. There was a guy, the oldest serving member in Georgia. He's just in Georgia. He is not. He's in the House, I think. He has decided not to run again. He is 84 years old.
Listen, if you're 84 years old and you still have your mental faculties about you, you have a lot of wisdom and knowledge. If you're using it correctly, as the Lord wills, that's a different story. But if you've been in Congress, like, Joe Biden, he had been in there, 50 years, it seemed like.
It was about 50 years before.
And
he took
Nancy
office.
Pelosi, same Maxine Waters, all of these people been in there forever. What have they done? What have they
Damage.
done? Exactly. They've went from, one side to the other, and they go back and forth. Whatever this side believes, they're against. And if it flips, it's the same way. It doesn't matter.
What would Joe Biden be qualified for if he hadn't become working in Congress or president?
Probably a stable boy shoveling, you know what?
I mean, selling ice cream.
He would
Running
love
that
that.
little
Selling
icy
ice
truck?
cream to little kids.
The little icy truck, dude. I mean,
I can see him doing that.
wearing the little white outfit.
Uncle.
We had a guy that come by. He had the little white outfit on, and he always had the little stains of all the icy drinks that was on it.
Yeah. They wouldn't call him Uncle Joe, though. They call him Uncle Purdy.
I'm just saying. I mean, he kind of
It fits. I agree, 100%. Welcome to Uncle Purdy's ice cream stand.
I would not want my kid going to it. I'm just saying that's
No.
what it would look like with the little music they have. They all have that same little music. You can hear them coming. The kids will say, "I see," they start running.
I want to take a shotgun to some of the things. Man. It used to get on my nerves so bad.
Oh man.
Wow.
But
The good
Maxine
old days.
Maxine Waters, what would she have been if she hadn't been a politician?
Oh my God.
Um,
I could see Maxine Waters working for TMZ or something like that. Somewhere where she can lie.
she
somewhere where
reminds
she
me
can
of the
lie.
lady that is on everybody's street that hates for kids to have fun. And she would be the lady that would be coming out and screaming at them
Called
every
it
day.
Karen. Yeah.
Yeah, but she would be that. I mean, if the ball went in her yard, she would take it. And not
Get
give
off
it
my
back.
lawn.
That's her.
Yeah.
That's what she would be. She would hate for anybody to have fun. She'd be trying to tell every neighbor how to cut their grass and all that.
Hey, have you ever lit a bag on fire with poop in it on somebody's front porch?
No, I've never done that.
I've done it several times, but you have done the, knock and go. You go up, knock on somebody's door and take off running. So there's a video. This kid, he's standing there and he goes to knock on this door and the door opens. And he's just standing there looking at him and can I help you? And said, well, and anyway, he tells her that I was here to knock on your door and run. She said, well, what if I tell your father? And he said, I think he knows. She said, what do you mean? And you hear somebody off in the distance going, run, run. It's his dad. It's hilarious.
I have a question. When you did the poop and fire bag,
Yeah.
What whose poop?
Oh, it's dog poop.
Okay.
It wasn't mine. I'm not gonna crap a bag and put it on somebody's porch. No, I ain't. No.
That's all I wanted to know, man. I'm like, what in the world
No,
are you talking
it's,
about?
It's dog poop. It's dog poop. And, and it could be white. It might have been just powder when you step on it, but still, it was dog poop. But and no, I didn't walk around with a bag, waiting for my dog to take a dump. I didn't do that either. That was funny. Have you ever heard Cheech and Chong do the whole thing about the Labrador? Yeah, this is Labrador, man. And he's smoking it. He had to follow my dog around. He ate my stash. I had to follow him around for 2 days.
It's amazing that they're still alive.
Oh, I know. And going at it. They've come out with some new marijuana products,
Chong has always been that business kind of guy,
Yeah.
He was
Cheech is all, he's been on that. I like that show. Him and what's Don Johnson, from Miami Vice. They had a show called Nash Bridges.
Yeah.
That was a good show, I thought.
He's a good actor.
He's a nut. But the two of them together, they just bring something out in each other, Kind of like us.
Kind of like
I guess,
us. Well, you never know what you're going to hear on the Cornbread and Biscuit Boy morning show.
Well, that's true.
Each Saturday at around 8:30, we come on. We'll be getting off here in a minute, and we hope that you have a great weekend.
Oh, yeah. Get out and enjoy, if you're around this area, enjoy the day before the rain gets here.
Yeah.
I'm going to go home, but I got 100 pounds of grass seed to put on my yard.
When does the rain hit? I haven't looked. Is it today or tomorrow? Or?
I thought it was this afternoon, but let me check and see.
I just wondered.
Don't forget to set your clocks back.
That's right. It is.
Or spring forward. Excuse me. Spring forward.
Spring forward.
Yeah, maybe clocks up.
Oh, lose an hour.
Yep.
Or gain it back, or
tonight.
whatever you want to say. Then we'll hear everybody complain for 7 months, 6 months.
This might be the last time it ever changes.
There's a big move to do that, and I've been for that. It needs to stop.
I agree 100%.
But which one do you want it to stay on? The time we're going to right now?
Yes.
Well,
yeah. Springing forward.
Springing forward.
Yes,
I agree.
We have longer days.
Longer days.
Yep. I think, that'd be great. They just wanted it to be bright earlier in the morning.
Well, I can get it back in the days when, there was no options and stuff.
Yeah.
They say the kids up to school, but kids are waiting in the dark.
6 p.m. they're saying they're going to have 20% at 7, 40% at 8, 80%.
Okay.
And it drops after that. So around 8 o'clock, we're going to get 100% of that 80% probably. But it's going to rain for the next 5 days. We won't have another sunny day till Thursday.
Wow.
So
get that grass seed out. It'd be a perfect time.
Yep. And it's going to be in the 70s every day when it rains. So high 70s.
And that's a lot of grass seed for your.
I overseed.
Well, I was fixing to say.
And the reason why is
you could probably do it with 20.
Well, I like for my lawn to be really thick.
Yeah.
That way it chokes out most weeds that want to grow.
Yeah.
And we're in a wind tunnel right there on the ridge, and the wind's always blowing up through there. So if my neighbor, down at the bottom of the ridge cuts his grass, the wind's going to blow all that junk up there, and eventually it'll get to my yard one way or another.
Yeah.
That's just, the way it works. So a thicker lawn's going to choke a lot of that stuff out. So that's the reason why I overseed. And then I'll put some lime on it. But, that'd be perfect. Rain for the next 5 days. That way the
weather's
rats
warm.
And squirrels and birds and all that won't get the grass seed.
That works.
Maybe we'll get going. So anyway, bored you enough with that. Folks, I hope you have a wonderful weekend and a blessed rest of your day. And thank you for joining the Cornbread Man and I. We really had a good time today.
Yeah, like, follow, share, and all those good things helps us out. Don't forget, we're brought to you by Wolf Nation Coffee.
That's
right. You can find links to that on all of our channels.
Wolf knows
as a link, and then Patriot Mobile. Make the switch today. Use promo code Cornbread. We got other things we're going to be showing back to you soon. If you go to W Energy and use Southern Fried, W Energy drink, Southern Fried, you can get 10% off there. And I know they're taking a heat right now, and it's ugly, but I still love the Hodge twins. And
They are getting some heat.
they're getting some heat, you know, and I get it. There's some division about this war, and I get it, but
And we can't forget.
and we help our friends at Horsepower Coffee. We promote their energy drink, the Kick and Strawberry.
That Kick and Strawberry is the best energy drink I think I've ever had.
And you go to their Facebook site, Horsepower Coffee.
Yep.
And you can
Good
contact
stuff.
them, and they'll help you out with getting some of that. We're going to show some teas. I've got to get in the studio. I keep saying I'm going to do that, but we will before the weekend is out. But have a great weekend, and Biscuit Boy, as always, thank you, Dean. Thanks for stopping by.
Yep.
Broski, enjoy your drive.
Be safe out there, broski.
Yeah, be safe. I mean, you know, it's a lot of crazies out there. People, like you said, they want to drive a little faster.
That's it. You know, you got some good music
Well,
going.
before we go, what do you think? Broski Cruiser, is he a top down kind of guy? Like he's in the convertible, and he's got what kind of music? What kind of music is Broski jamming to on his cruise?
I
right
could
now?
see Broski driving a Triumph
A Triumph.
convertible,
Okay,
blasting Metallica with his little driver cap on, leather gloves, boogieing down the highway
there you go. You hear him
in
coming.
a TR6. Not the TR7, the
The
TR6.
TR6. I love it.
TR6.
Enjoy your weekend, folks. We'll be back. I'll be back in the morning, and somebody may drop in, but
I might. Who knows?
the morning show, or the not morning show, Sunday morning in the Word.
Sunday morning in the
we'll have a
Word, yeah.
discussion
Yeah.
from the Bible. So and about life
And remember, always keep ascending
and
the Wolfman.
the Wolfman. Take care.
Good day.
Out on the airwaves, mud soaked and loud. Cornbread man talking, biscuit boy proud. Static crackles like a rattlesnake's tail. Voices rolling like a freight train wheel. Cornbread man, biscuit boy, talking live love and southern joy. Cornbread man, biscuit boy, raise your glass, make some noise. Gravy drips in the southern drawl. Stories thick like the cypress tall. Radio rebels riding wild and free, shouting truths like a storm at sea.